Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm sure you've heard the many benefits of meditation. And some of us have maybe toyed with it a little bit here, maybe got frustrated. Maybe you have a view that it needs to be done in a certain way, at a certain time, in a certain location. Take all that stuff and throw it out because it's all wrong. It can change your life, give you clarity, give you peace. And we're gonna dig into that today. She is our professional of the year. She's intuitive. She has so many different modalities to help you heal from many different things, right down to harnessing the power of energy. She's also a psychic. Alisha Baldwin is back with us. Alisha B is on the program, as we say. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you today?
Really good, really good. And this whole conversation started because you emailed me 3 meditations.
Yes.
And I'm busy. I never got to it. I was like, all right, let me get to that tonight. And something came up. Finally, I did. I kicked myself for waiting because I've done meditations before. I'll call these guided meditations. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was. Yours was different. I think I listened to the higher consciousness meditation.
Yes. Very nice.
To connect with, well, you know what? Instead of me saying it, why did you do it? What's the goal?
For the higher consciousness one specifically is to help you connect with your higher spirit self, your spiritual team. For those that have already contacted those, it's a higher consciousness to do downloads, as we call them, or channeled messages. It's just a way to get you quickly centered into that space to connect and move forward through the connection and get answers.
It was only about 10 minutes-ish, something like that. And I'm going to play a piece of it just to give everybody an idea in just a moment. But I want to go back to the preconceived notions that we have about meditation. Like many believe you have to sit with your legs crossed and have to close your eyes and you have to get in a quiet spot and you're like, all of that. If that works for you, that's fine. This meditation, I put on headphones, pressed the button on my phone. I was laying in bed. That's it.
That's a perfect way to do it.
That's it. I closed my eyes. I felt like I was floating on a cloud after a while. I was just like, wow, this is awesome. This is cool. And you talk about in this meditation connecting with your spirit or spirit. And I started feeling like I was going in a certain direction. I don't know that I necessarily did connect, but there have been times where I've just laid in bed and even thought to myself, connect me to this spirit thing, this whoever my spirit guides are. I've done that about 3 times. I guess you call it a meditation. It wasn't guided. It was just me just laying there thinking, same spot in bed, eyes closed, no TV, nothing, no devices on. I fell asleep a few times. So I could have been connected with spirit and I might not have even, known it.
Yes.
This spirit thing we're talking about, let's go there. What are we talking about?
So first, before we go into that, with you falling asleep, just know you're still connecting. That's a lot of things where we kind of have a misconception. We have to be conscious the whole time.
Yep.
With energy work or meditation, if you fall asleep, that is a deep process that you're going through. And so it'll become more inherently easy as you move through that. But in the beginning stages, often you will fall asleep because you're reaching and getting really, really elevated and you're just not used to it at the time. So that's a beautiful thing to see. But moving into spirit, so what I call spirit is anyone that has left the physical plane and crossed over, so not stuck in between. And then your higher self, angels, your ascended masters, you'll have celestials that'll come in that you're connected to. And so spirit is just those higher energies, those higher entities that help guide us in the physical.
With the falling asleep, and this is not you making this up. This is from science.
Yes.
Our subconscious is somewhere around 92% of us all the time. all the time. We're only about 7%, ish, 8, whatever, conscious. Everything is just programs being run in the background that came from your childhood. Just, that's like a
Yes.
computer running the old programs. So when you do fall asleep, your subconscious is taking over. Now it's really taking over. Now I guess it's
Yes.
100% because you're sleeping. So yeah, to your point, it's not a fail if you fall asleep. I'm going to play a little piece of this, and that depends on where you're listening, how it will sound. If you're on a Zoom, you might not hear the music in the background, but yeah, check this out just for a sec.
At this time, I ask that you take a moment and set your intention or question for this meditation. Wonderful. As we begin, go ahead and get into your comfortable position and begin to relax. Acknowledge that this moment is sacred and meant for you to create a deeper connection with Spirit. Allow your eyes to gently close and the silence to enter, creating a space for deep connection. Begin to notice how time slows down and there is no difference in past, present, or future. In this moment, all are connected and you are connected to all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to end our fun there. Disclaimer: if you're driving, don't close your eyes.
Yes, please don't.
I don't know how you do what you do, and I've listened to other guided meditations. Something about the way you do it, maybe it's the energy you're putting into it.
Yes.
Just draws me in. Like I could be back in my bed right now with my eyes closed. It's like hearing that is my happy spot. And
I'm so glad to hear that.
It's the truth. Because I don't want to shut it off. It's like, I've done hypnotherapy before.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of reminds me of that. And I think I've heard that when you meditate or vice versa, hypnosis, it's sort of kind of the same thing. Is it?
They are. So from what I understand as well, like you're saying, hypnotherapy uses visualization cues, a way to draw your mind down a journey in order to release whatever you're working with your hypnotherapist for, whatever you're aiming at. Meditations do the same when you do a guided meditation and you release the control of where your mind goes. You have that same benefit come to you to where you're able to work through things that you needed to work through. That's why at the beginning I say set your intention. If you have a question, ask your question now, because that's going to release that in your mind and you're going to be able to let go as you move through it and get your answers.
You're saying a word, and I heard this word when I had trouble meditating. Mm-hmm. And what's trouble? I just couldn't get comfortable with yours. Bam, I'm right there. And I'm not a great meditator. I'm just going to say that, but I'm better than I was. I found a way to quiet everything. But somebody did tell me at one point, set an intention for your meditation. Don't just, well, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to hang. That's all good. But the intention is the direction. Is that your belief? You have to set an intention.
So I wouldn't say have to, but it's more beneficial.
Should?
Yes.
Should?
You should definitely set an intention. And that is because that's going to give you. So I have different meditations that I've done, and each one is titled to give you that direction that you're going. So you're not just grabbing a random, oh, this is a guided meditation, not knowing where they're going with it as they guide you.
Sure.
And so I like to put it in there. Like I have one for self-acceptance. So the intention setting would be something related to accepting self. Higher intention, getting that higher message. Are you worried about, a future endeavor or a relationship moving forward? You set that intention that you want clarity on that situation, and that's where you're going to gain the clarity. When you go into it without an intention, you're kind of a free-for-all on what's going to come through or what you're going to work through or how that's going to impact you, to where when you do set an intention, it's like a direct path to where you need to go.
It's almost as if and this, I don't deal in religion or politics, but it's in the Bible, ask and ye shall receive. And if you want to meditate and get something out of it, if all you get out of it is peace for 10 minutes, fabulous.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I searched for years and didn't find that peace until in the last number of years. But if you're asking for something, you should get it or get closer to it
Yes.
with your meditation.
Yes. And it may not be like, okay, now I'm 100% getting what I want. It's leading you towards, because you still have free will and choice. So even when you connect with spirit and they say, hey, this is a good way to go, you still have a choice whether you go that way or not.
Right.
Whether you feel your life aligns with making that decision or not. And so if you go in there open-minded, and in there being a meditation, open-minded, and know what direction you want to go, it's very impactful and beneficial. Not only does it calm your body, so your physiological self, it brings clarity to your mind. It can improve circulation within the body and move that oxygen a little bit better so you feel better. And so it just has a lot of benefits. And one thing I like about the ones I do, and obviously I'm going to speak on those, excuse me, is they're short. Life is chaotic. So what I did was try to make them manageable. 30 minutes, if you can meditate for 30 minutes, I need to get with you, because I can't hold that attention long enough.
Same.
And so up to 10, 12 minutes, that's kind of where I max out being able to just get away from life. And so I've put them all in that short spurt, so it's impactful. I do energy work with what I'm saying. I'm putting that healing energy into it, trying to help you align yourself with what it entitles, like self-acceptance, higher consciousness, releasing the past. And so that energy I do incorporate into those.
I guess that's what I'm feeling. It's not just somebody talking.
No.
Playing nice music in the background and some nature sound effects. It's you're putting the intention into what we're listening to get our intention out of it.
Yes. Yes.
That's probably
exactly
why. It's probably why I'm like, you got me like a puppet on a string when I say what you need, say what you want, you got it. But that's got to be it. That you're putting that certain energy imprint on it. Tell us what your intentions that you've set for meditations you've done, and what you got out of it, or what you received. Clarity, information, download, whatever. Give an example.
So I did not the one I wrote, but a higher consciousness meditation. And that was when I first started to see dragons and angels, like seeing them in my mind's eye or seeing them in the rooms, and connecting to higher entities that at the time I didn't even know dragons really existed, right? I love sci-fi fantasy, and I was like, oh, it's a fantasy. No, it's really a spiritual entity, and they come to visit. I've had downloads through them. The one we talked about in the beginning about the geographical changes was through a meditation that I did. And so it's all about the intention. I do a lot of higher consciousness. I do a lot of self-love. Just going through day-to-day life, you can start to kind of pick yourself apart and break what you've started to build. And I'm guilty of this as well. And so I'll do self-love, where I just go in and I love myself. I love my body. I love what I came through. I love my experiences in life, and am grateful that I've had them, and I'm still moving forward. And it helps to reframe my mind when I get into those muddy, darker places, and just to get back to me, the true me.
Do you always get something out of it? Now, you're in a different category than most of us, because you've been doing this work. Are there times where you'll meditate and you didn't get anything out of it? You got peace. It was relaxing, but you didn't, let's say you were looking for an answer. You wanted to connect to spirit. It just didn't happen that time.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
please know it. Sometimes I'll get nothing. I get the relaxation, the calm. I feel like my mind has slowed down to where I can recognize my thoughts and ideas as they come through. But I don't get what I was looking for, which was a direct message like, oh, I have this issue or this situation that I need help on. And the important thing that they gave me was you need to be calm. But for me, I was like, wait, what do you do? This is not what I wanted, you know? And so sometimes it doesn't come out how you want it. And then you just have to recognize that the shift in you is the benefit that you gained.
You've mentioned in the past at least twice that you've gotten insightful downloads, and you've even shared some of the things that one was back in October, a little bit after that. Kind of a universal thing, direction we should go in. And some of these things did come to light that you had, call it predicted or passed on some information from spirit. Was that during a meditation you got that?
It was. It was probably my strangest feeling meditation. I wanted to know if there was any message for humanity for the coming, the future of humanity. And I got into my meditative space, which ironically was laying on my bed because that was comfortable and I was just going to lay down and let it happen. But that was the first time I had my eyes wide open and I saw what looked like a negative imprint on the ceiling. And it was like watching a video as the message came through. And that was probably the weirdest, most impactful and strangest feeling meditation I've encountered.
Do you believe you needed to receive that? And that's why Spirit said, almost like frying pan over, Alicia's head. Bam. You need to get this now. You need to get this.
Yes. I talked to my mentor. So I've had a mentor since I started to help me kind of get a grasp on my gifts about that situation and the experience I had. And she goes, well, that's because you're a channeler and you've chosen not to channel. And I was like, okay, I should pay attention to myself a little bit and figure out where I need to go.
Everybody's different. I get it in music. That's my download. I get them in lyrics. And I guess maybe because I'm a little more tuned in, thanks to people like you, I will hear a song and it will haunt me for weeks.
Oh.
And there's one that's been playing in my head and I've been playing it at least 40 times in the last 5 days. And the lyrics, I think maybe it's something for everyone, or maybe it's, I need to hear this. And the song was, I wasn't like a big fan of the song back in the day, mid-90s, but it was a good song, whatever. Take these chances. Place them in a box until a quieter time. Lights down. You up and die. Dave Matthews, Ants Marching. And the lyrics are like telling me, take chances. Because all of us, busy, put them over to the side, place them in a box. I get to that later. I'm too busy right now. And then you die. There's no time to get to it. And in many different scenarios in the last week, I've shared those lyrics because it applied. It's almost like, Spirit came to me through a song saying, hey, take some chances, people. Take some chances. We don't. We're afraid. I get it. All of it. There's reasons, change is uncomfortable, et cetera, et cetera. And we all say, me personally, I haven't taken vacation forever. And I have a friend in another part of the country where he's working Airbnb. He stays there for months. He's like, come on down. And what am I doing? Yeah. I got to book it. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm placing it in a box for a quieter time when I can.
Yes.
And there'll be no time, or I get busy then, or whatever it might be. But is that possible? Like, I'm getting this download through lyrics, and it's not the first time. I've gotten others, and it's been insightful. That's my way of interpreting. Maybe yours is through meditation.
So, excuse me. Yes, to answer your question, that is you getting a message. So Spirit is going to use what connects to you the most. If you work in, radio, on podcasts and around this industry, they're going to use that modality because you're there to hear it and you can receive it. The difference is when you open up, which you're opened, you're going to make the connection that it's a message versus just hearing it and be like, oh, that was catchy, or that might have applied, and let it slip. You're retaining that and you're sharing that message that was given to you with others. And so that's the way spirit works. It's never, that's why we talk about paying attention to the small things.
Yeah.
It's not these big things that are going to be impactful. It's the little crumbs that we pay attention to that make the difference.
And that's where the meditation comes in, because you have to quiet life around you to get the little crumb. And the crumb could be huge. But if you don't see it or consume it, you're not gonna, you'll be missing out. You'll be missing out.
Very true. And again, you don't have to do it for a long 30 minutes, 45 minutes. A 5-minute meditation, taking that time and committing to yourself is all you need. It's small spurts.
I shared on part of a men's group, and there is a thing we do. It's called an out of head. So, and sometimes it's goofy. Sometimes we'll go outside and play football. Sometimes we'll do tug of war. Sometimes we'll play Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, whatever it is. And I was assigned with it one week, and this is before we met. And I'm going to do this again using your help. You don't even know it yet. I said to everybody, all right, our out ahead is going to be something that you don't really have to do anything. And somebody looks up at me. One of the men says, we're not going to meditate, are we? I'm like, yes, we are. And I found a YouTube meditation before we met, and just press the button. 10 minutes, 10-minute meditation. When it was over, everybody was like, oh my gosh, that was insane. I can't believe how good that felt. I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to use your meditation.
Oh, let me know how it goes.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. It's just the way, it's the energy imprint. That's what's going on. That's why yours are different. Yeah.
Just a little.
I'm serious. I try to dissect what's going on here. Why am I drawn to that? Even when we played it before for just a minute, I was back in bed. I was,
I actually ended up meditating with it, which is funny because obviously most of us don't like the sound of our voice recorded. And so I'm not a fan of it, but it put me in I was like, oh, I'm just going to listen.
So here's the deal. I looked over to the side to press the button and play it. And then I looked back, your eyes were closed. I'm like, Mary Blanket, I'm going to close my eyes and reap the benefits of this. Amazing. And this is just a piece of what you offer. So many different modalities, so many spiritual insights, so many answers can be had from all of this. Alisha, how do we find you?
Best way is on my website, insightpsychics.com/Alisha. You can also text or call me 256-469-8111.
I have a half hour and about 3 hours from right now, and I think I'm going to be popping on one of your meditations again. Yeah,
yes, that's wonderful.
I need a break. Thank you.
Yeah, let me know
much.
which one you do.
Yeah, you sent me 3. I did 2. I got 1 left, so maybe I'll get to that. Always great talking with you. Appreciate it, and we'll catch up next week.
As well. All right. Thanks. You. Have a great day.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.